Jupiter hasn't been in action since, well, it's been over a year, about a year and 3 months or so. Had a couple of big losses. One loss he thought he won when he was beaten by Bungu in South Africa, Guyani. He said he did everything but win the fight. Couldn't get the judges to give him the decision.
And that was his last fight, Tom. It was a year and a week ago. A 12-round decision for the IBF title. He fought Bungu in South Africa. As you said, he felt he did enough to win the decision. In fact, he felt that the fight should have been stopped in the second round when he opened a big cut on the eyelid of Bungu, and he felt that if it hadn't been where the fight was in South Africa, that the bout anywhere else would have been stopped, and he would have been champion. But he's been off a year. He says it gives him a chance to analyze his career, and has come to the conclusion that he still feels he can go a long way.
Well, you've alluded earlier, Fernando, this guy was a great bantamweight at one time, highly regarded, number 6, I think you said. Now he's up at the featherweight limit, 125 pounds tonight. He's in there. Are his best days behind him, or is he still a very viable item?
He is a viable item, but I think he might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. And the thing is, he's looking against, he's going against a fighter that's in the top of his game. And regardless of whether that he is the rank at this point.
Jupiter, of course, is well aware what a victory over Marquez would mean for his career and the possibility of getting back with a chance at a world title. And, of course, Marquez knows full well that while he is the #1 WBO, #2 WBC contenders, you can't afford a loss, Rich. You've just got to keep winning, don't you?
No, especially when you're going to be mandatory for those champions. He's going to get a fight, and he's going to get a fight for real good money against either Hamed or Espinosa in the future. Interestingly enough, Tom, in the audience here tonight, we had a chance to talk to him early, is Irish Wayne McCullough, the former bantamweight champion, who apparently, and the reports have it, it's all but signed, sealed, and delivered, but not quite done yet, not quite a done deal. But apparently McCullough is the man who will fight October 31st here in Las Vegas against Hamed. And so he's not only here just to enjoy the fights, but he's scouting Marquez a little, because if McCullough was to win that fight, his mandatory defense would be against Juan Manuel Márquez.
Well, I know about long shots. I keep trying to hit 13 at all the blackjack tables, and McCullough certainly would fall into the category of a long shot, but you never know.
Now that you mentioned 13, Nacho Beristain said that's the number of champs that he's had so far. He doesn't like that number. He wants to be this guy 14.
Marquez has a younger brother who's a very tough fighter, got a magnificent record. 1 loss, 13 wins, and what a punch he's got. Round 1, feeling out one so far. We'll be back. Round number 2, Marquez in black and Jupiter in the white and green. Fernando, I've been remiss in not thanking you enough for the fine work you do, not only in the telecast, but bringing us the insight into these Hispanic fighters, and we have a great many of them. Have we made too much out of the fact that Marquez and Beristain are almost like a father-son?
No, I think that that is the way that he's been with all of his fighters. And if you know that the gym that he has built on there, they call it Zaragoza and Roman. They call it Romanza Gym in honor of Gilbert Roman, now deceased, and also Daniel Zaragoza. So he is typically and genuinely involved with the fighters.
Listen, if I had a kid who spoke only English, I'd take him to Spanish class and he wanted to be a fighter. I'd take him to Spanish class, take him right down to Nacho Beristain and let him train him. I think he's just a brilliant manager and trainer for these kids.
Interesting. Marquez at all of the news conferences says hello in English. He's trying to learn English and speak it much in the same way that Marco Antonio Barrera is. And this is such a likable kid. He is bright and articulate, and he's a pleasure to talk to. He's really a great youngster. And I'd never met Jupiter until yesterday, and what a nice young man this guy is.
I'll tell you, Marquez is picking it up here in round 2. He's getting to work a little bit more. His left hand of the body has really been a thing of beauty so far. There it is again. And he's landed a number of those blows so far in the bout.
You look at Jupiter, he's had so bad. It's right now 45, 217 rounds. So he's seen the best of Mexico. He hasn't beaten the best of Mexico, but he has seen some of the best fighters there.
He landed a pretty good right hand a moment ago, maybe 15 seconds ago, and it was flush up on the left cheek of Juan Manuel Márquez. Certainly got his attention.
But Fernando's point is well taken, because it's taken a really good fighter to beat Jupiter in his career. Bungo, you mentioned, and Erik Morales beat him.
He's the champion now.
Joel Luna Zarate, who's a number one contender, he beat him. But those are the kind of guys that have beaten Jupiter. And he holds wins himself over Ricardo Vargas, Enrique Angeles, and some very good fighters along the way.
That old good news, bad news thing, isn't it? This guy's got a ton of experience, has fought the very best. Bad news, he's lost to most of them. But I tell you, he is tough, Jupiter, and he's not taking a backward step from Marquez. He is very much involved in this one. This is round 2 of the scheduled 12-rounder. The man on the left, Marquez, is the NABO featherweight champion, and his crown is being defended on the line for the 7th time in his career. Boy, and what a crowd we've had at the Tropicana tonight. The Las Vegas influence with Williams and Hannah the Fox. Nice combinations in return by Marquez as round 2 is coming to a close. Stay tuned.
Marquez began to pick it up in round 2, landed a number of good punches, especially that little quick, compact right hand in close.
So we pick up action now live, round 3. We're in the pavilion room of the Tropicana Resort and Hotel here in fabled Las Vegas.
Jupiter's corner believes that he is opening himself too much while he's landing or trying to go into the exchanges, so they ask him to get the guard up while he is throwing those punches.
Marquez in black. Enrique is in the white and green. Enrique Jupiter.
Marquez, one thing that really makes him even tougher for his opponents is the fact that as a fight goes on, he gets better. He gets stronger. He doesn't weaken, it ever seems like, in his fights. He always seems to get better as the fight progresses. It gets stronger. And he's already the complete package. I mean, a boxer, puncher, intelligent, poise, heart, good chin. But you throw in that other aspect of continually getting better as the fight goes on. That makes him even tougher.
The difference between a good fighter and a great fighter is that the great fighters, you very seldom see him lose a round. This is the case with Marquez. I don't think you remember when he really definitely was wiped out on the round. Last one that I recall was in Tahoe about a year and a half ago.
When he was knocked down by Daryl Pinky.
Yeah, and he got back up. He was behind in that bout at the Forum with Julian Wheeler. And with only seconds left, might have been as close as he was going to come to a legitimate defeat. Behind on 2 of the judges' cards, and the fight was stopped, strangely enough. Marquez very quick-handed and a solid puncher. He's boxing beautifully, and he is making Jupiter miss and coming back with some solid shots of his own. But Enrique, not to his credit, keeps moving in, walking in,
and attacking.
Yes.
He is forcing the action.
Well, here's a young guy that was taken to the gym by his dad when he was 16. Started fighting professionally. Can you believe that?
He was 8, Tom,
when they took him to the gym.
Yeah, just like the case of Juan Manuel, except the difference being that Juan Manuel's father was a boxer, and Herman, which is Jupiter's dad, he was only a fan. He decided to have his son be a fighter.
Yeah. Turned professional at 16. That's
Jupiter really landed a shot, and it almost angered Marquez. I think he got hit cleanly, Marquez.
Handful of seconds remaining in round number 3. The action is picked up. The title fight continues in a moment. And the bell brings him out for round number 4. NABO featherweight title. Marquez, the man on the right, owns the crown. Enrique Jupiter wants it. It's scheduled for 12. In Marquez's corner between rounds, Fernando, any cause for concern over there that you can hear?
No, they're pretty much telling him to keep his guard up. Also to move a little bit more, move his head, so that he doesn't become a target. But this is pretty much going the way Marquez wants it.
Nice left hand by Marquez. Gives us a moment as we watch these two. Rich Murata's scorecard has given Marquez the first 3 rounds. And Fernando has done likewise. Boy, you guys are a bundle of laughs.
Right.
And I get the controversy stirred up here. What is it with you?
Sorry to bring down the telecast.
Yeah, but we only have 1 sheet of paper.
You're sharing the same sheet of paper. Well, isn't that sweet? Huh?
You know, it's interesting in people's assessment. Obviously, the sanctioning organizations think highly of Marquez. Forum boxing promoter John Jackson refers to Marquez as the best featherweight in the world. Juan Manuel, we asked him yesterday if he thinks he's the best featherweight. He said, no, there are a lot better fighters out there.
And he's refreshingly honest. It's unbelievable.
But he didn't mention one.
No, he didn't mention any, but...
I think he's speaking philosophically, in which case he says that at any point, there's always a boxer right there that can beat you.
Well, when he said that, Nacho Beristain just nodded up and down in quiet assessment and agreement.
Well, Nacho says, you know, I love the philosophy of Beristain. He says, I believe that he is ready, but, you know, when you cook something, if you take it out of the oven too early, you could be in a little bit of trouble.
Boy, this has been a very active round for both men, and Jupiter is not backing up an inch. Marquez has hit him with some solid shots and gotten some in return.
We knew that Jupiter can really bang. Now we're also seeing that he can take a punch.
Yes, indeed. In fact, just a moment ago, as you spoke, he got nailed with a good right.
Marquez, though, in his last few fights has been extremely accurate and razor sharp. So even good fighters like Jupiter have to swallow some leather.
I think this is the kind of fight that Juan Manuel would enjoy, because it lets him bring out the best of him, everything he's been working in the gym, everything that he's been doing. Because it's no fun just to come in and beat up on somebody.
You're watching the action in round 4, scheduled for 12. Jupiter's hurt. He got nailed. He's up against the ropes and he was doing a rubber leg dance. Marquez pressing his advantage as he comes back after Jupiter, who's trying to protect himself and stay out the round, and Jupiter goes back on rubber legs as he gets to his corner, and his people will be working him over to get him back into it. Man, he caught a shot.
And he sure didn't disguise it either, Tom. And you know, when I first saw the punch, it didn't look like the kind of punch that would have that kind of an effect. But Marquez had landed some sharp ones, and he counters right there with the left hook. And look at the legs give way.
Yes.
Look at how it stiffens up. It's not the first one or the second one, but that third one that got him. He kept throwing punches.
You know, I've seen this movie before. That's the way he hit Cabrera the last time we saw him on K-Cal, and Cabrera backed right up across the ring, sagged against the ropes, and shortly thereafter was out of it. But Jupiter managed to stay the course.
Don't stay there. That's what I was telling you, to move.
Well, he crossed himself 4 times, Tom.
Can I tell you the old joke about the fella and the priest go to the fight? And the fighter comes out of the corner and blesses himself, and the guy said, "Father, is that going to help?" He said, "Only if he can fight, son. Only if he can fight."
You know that did happen to Magaña. And a real priest said the same thing.
I don't think Jupiter is yet fully recovered, and I think Marquez senses that his man could be had here.
That left is a thing of beauty of Marquez.
And also, he's there like a hawk, but he really doesn't just throw punches. He is looking for a fine target to hit.
Boy, isn't it amazing? That left hand, it really wasn't on the point of the chin, but it was on the side. And I mean, it just jolted Jupiter, and he just stepped back and did that little Texas two-step. Or maybe in this case, the Mexican hat stance. Eh,
right.
Fernando? We're watching the action in round 5. The man with the NABO featherweight title, thought by many to be the best featherweight in the world, Manuel Marquez.
Well, there's only one fighter I would favor over Marquez at this point at 126 pounds, and that would be Hamed. I would certainly make Juan Manuel, in my mind, would be the favorite over any of the other champions or contenders.
Also, what's amazing is that he came in at a weight of 124, which would also pretty much, you would wonder, can he make 122 and go down?
You know, I was thinking about myself. I don't know that he couldn't. Solid shots, and Jupiter is in trouble. backs up, trying to use all of his 40-fight ring experience to protect himself. Mitch Halpern watching him closely, and Marquez with a bead on his man now here in round number 5.
But did you see how poised Marquez was? He didn't go crazy, Tom. He didn't go wild. Even right now, he's still looking to set his man up.
Jupiter has taken some solid shots. I asked earlier if he was a viable item. He certainly is. He has been hit and nailed. He has recovered, fought his way back, continues to press forward.
The problem that he has at this stage of his career is that none of the up and young coming fighters will fight him. So this is the only kind of fight that he can get at, which is not really easy.
Uppercut and a right hand to follow by Marquez.
Marquez has so many weapons. He will look and search for a spot here, a spot there until he gets you.
There's the bell. Round 5 is in the books. And we'll follow Jupiter back to his corner as we watch some of the replay action. Fernando, bring us up to date on this conversation, please.
All right, we'll go to the action first here, Tom. There's that left uppercut of Marquez. It's an unusual punch, but he likes to throw it, and it really gets Jupiter in trouble. He'd missed with that shot a couple of times earlier tonight, but that time it landed. Very unusual. Look at it. From outside, he throws the uppercut and then crosses right over it. Very few fighters alive, believe me, who can throw that uppercut from outside and land it.
Look at how good a boxer, though, Jupiter is. He makes Marquez miss repeatedly. Marquez looked as though he had him in big-time trouble after those 2 punches, but Jupiter got away again. What were they talking about, Fernando? Did you hear anything?
Again, they were just asking him to move, not to give him a target, but it's very difficult when you're going up against a guy like this.
Out they come for round number 6, scheduled for 12. Fight night on KCAL. Reminder that Fight Night on KCAL will return September 26th from Caesars Tahoe, and Marco Antonio Barrera will headline the card.
How would you like to see a Barrera Marquez fight?
Oh boy. How about the Coliseum?
Oh, Jesus.
How about the Coliseum, huh?
I think Marquez people would love to do it. I don't think that Barrera's people would really be interested.
Right now, it looks as though, by the way, just quickly, you're talking about Barrera's, that the things are in the works for him to fight Richie Wenton for the now vacated title at 122 pounds. In fact, there's a possibility, again, nothing's set, but that could show up on the same card as Ahmed's fight on Halloween night here in Vegas.
The other nothing set card. The other nothing set fight. How much are the possible tickets?
We're talking about a definite maybe here. Is that what they've got, guys? Okay. Have I got a moment to remind you that KCAL Sports will be covering the Angels as they travel back east. The upcoming series, they'll be in New York and all over back there, and Steve Fiziak and bring you all the coverage of the fight. Jerry Royce. Cover the game for you, I should say. Oh, there's a right hand. Well, how did Jupiter take that without doing a little 2-step?
He was coming back away from the punch. That's why it wasn't as effective. Wow. If he would have been coming in, this fight would have been over.
Marquez has had Jupiter rubber-legged a couple of times in this evening activity. Nice jab by Marquez, and again a left-right combination. Marquez eating a lot of leather here from the champion. There's a right hand, and Jupiter took that in stride.
Marquez has also learned how to really knock out somebody, which isn't not just to throw punches wildly like he did in the corner for a bit. he went back, pulled back, and really measure and try to look for an open spot so that he can be effective.
He's working that left hand beautifully, Rich, and he's drawing back, throwing the uppercut, hooking to the body. As round 6 comes to a close, it's scheduled for 12. And we'll be back with more Fight Night from the Tropicana right after this.
Marquez in round 6. Tom, you asked how he stood up to that, but as you could see, he turned his head. He was rolling with the punch a little bit. Jupiter actually saw it coming, not to the point where he could get away from it, but at least he could roll with it a little and take some of the power away.
Round number 7. That's the champion in black, Jupiter, the wannabe. Veteran, tough warrior of a fighter, only 26. He's in the white trimmed in green. Yes, Fernando?
Jupiter was saying that he tried to do the same with William Jorrin up in Sacramento. When he tried to roll with the punch, he got hit in the back of the head.
Yeah. Through 6 rounds, why Rich Murata's scorecard has Marquez pitching a shutout. 10 points for the winner of the round, you know, and 9 for the loser, or a lesser number. Fernando has him pitching a shutout as well. Our mathematics were off just a little bit. It is 60-54, not 60-50.
Well, I gave
Don't tell me you gave a 10-8.
I gave him a 10-8 in round number 5 when he hurt Jupiter in the corner.
10-8.
Well, mainly because I wanted to break up the monotony of me and Fernando scoring every single round.
Oh, well, is it true? Are you guys done with each other now? That's it, huh? How fickle you are. One scorecard. Can't share. Seventh round of a scheduled 12-round title defense.
And I guess this brings credibility to Jupiter's performance. The fact that he has gone this far into such a tough fight. Maybe not really winning a round, but still really in the fight.
Hasn't fought in over a year.
He said that he had several fights lined up to come in and fight in the U.S., except he had visa problems and couldn't really come in, but he was in top shape and ready to fight.
He's on his horse, bouncing up and down and moving, dancing left, right, and away from Marquez.
They wanted Marquez to change speeds of the fight. In other words, to throw lots of punches and then slow it down a bit.
And does he jump all over Jupiter there a moment ago, Rich?
I just love when he doubles up with his left hand, Tom. I think it's just an incredible weapon when he goes body and head with that left hand.
Well, I tell you, Jupiter shows just how long a career he's had and how good he is and how skillful. He's been hurt, he's gotten away. He has made Marquez miss after Marquez has nailed him with some really fine shots. Boy, Jupiter is a fine boxer, and he keeps stepping in, moving in, and now he's in trouble. He got hit, and down he went. And he's on all 4.
He's not getting up.
He'll try. Got hit behind the head, he says. He's up. He said he got hit behind the head. It'll be interesting to see that in the replay.
He might have rolled again. Might have rolled the head again and might have gotten hit, but the fact was that he was hit like with a rock.
And Mitch Halpern didn't want to hear about any complaints there or any excuses. He just wanted Jupiter to walk to him, show him he could still go.
You want to stop?
They ask him if he wants to stop, but he doesn't understand.
No more?
I don't think he wants to.
No. They asked him if he wanted to stop the fight. He said no, he wants to go.
All right, there's the left hook.
Boy,
see,
nailed.
that's a tremendous shot. That little punch at in the back of the head doesn't matter. It's the left hand. It's a clean shot. No doubt about it. Look at that. There's nothing illegal about that, folks. That's just a beautiful punch. Little brush at the top of the head. Doesn't matter much.
No, just tapped him. The last one wasn't a punch. This was a punch.
No, all he did was just put his hand down on the back of his head. Watch, there's no effort made to throw a punch, really. See that? He missed with the other in the hand, just the glove was there.
He wanted to do a Williams on the fight.
Yeah, here comes Jupiter reluctantly coming out for the 8th round. Marquez.
I think Marquez senses that he is ready to go.
I'm sure. Jupiter, a proud, tough warrior, though. Only 26. 31 wins, 8 losses, 26 knockouts to his credit.
Marquez, remember, has only lost one fight in his career, and that his very first bout. He was disqualified in the first round of a bout with a guy named Javier Duran. After he had knocked Duran down twice, he was disqualified, and that is still the source of some resentment by Marquez and Nacho Beristain toward the commission in Mexico City.
They said they will not fight in Mexico because the commissions are so crooked down there. He says that they would rather come over and fight in the States, in which people are much more organized, a lot more sense of responsibility.
And there's more money. Let's be honest about that as well. There he's got him really in trouble, and that's it. Hooper offers no resistance as Mitch Halpern steps in and stops this one. And Hooper's face showing the effects of a steady tattoo. Nacho Beristain comes out to wipe the face of his fighter off, and they stand and talk to each other, and a broad smile on the face of the NABO champion.
Excellent work by Mitch Halpern, the referee, to stop the bout at that point. He was looking very closely. He jumped in extremely decisively to stop it right there. He's become such a good referee, Mitch Halpern, one of the very best in the world. Marquez, one of the best in the world, no doubt about it. Just came out, he knew he had his man, so he went right to the attack. And there's that right hand. See Halpern? Make sure he gets his entire body in there so that Marquez cannot hit him anymore, even if Marquez doesn't realize the fight's being stopped.
So the champion keeps the belt. He's now 26 in a row, 20 knockouts. Juan Manuel Marquez, he is a work of art.
Hey, there's still time this summer to get your 15 grand.
Fight Night on KCAL is being brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. See your Ford dealer today. And by Domino's. Call now for our delicious deep dish pizza. Fight Night on KCAL. We're in the pavilion room of the Tropicana Resort and Hotel here in fabled Las Vegas, Nevada. Jake Gutierrez has the official time of the knockout and the fight stoppage. Let's go to the ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mitch Halpern steps in to stop this bout. The time, 1 minute, 9 seconds of the 8th round. The winner by TKO and still NABO featherweight champion, Juan Manuel Márquez.
But it's Juan Manuel Marquez. I think Jake may have had a problem with his microphone. There he is, being congratulated by Mark Reels, who is with the NABO. Not a mark on him. Juan Manuel, and he's moved over now. Our Fernando Paramo is up in the ring, and he will be there talking to the champion. And, well, it's interesting, the fights ahead for him and everything. What an interesting time for this talented young man. Fernando, if you will, please.
Thank you, Tom. Juan Manuel, congratulations. Another great performance. Felicidades, otra gran actuación.
Pues gracias por la felicitación. Me siento muy contento porque la condición no deja de ser un factor importante para cualquier deportista. Y me siento muy contento.
I feel very happy about this way because of my physical condition, which is the most important thing for any sportsman, and I'm very glad. Did this kind of fight give you a good work for the future? ¿Este tipo de pelea te dio buen trabajo para el futuro?
Yo creo que sí sirve de experiencia, porque es peleador de mucha experiencia, ya que también es bastante fuerte, porque pues, sus peleas son en México y no cualquiera pelea ahí en México. Y pues me sirve de experiencia para las próximas que vienen.
It's great experience because you're talking about a fighter that has fought in Mexico, that is fights that is also fighting at altitude, that is in great shape, and this will help you for the future. We're going to take a look at the fight in round 4. Tell us what is going on. Dinos lo que está pasando.
Pues ahí nos estamos midiendo. Estamos midiendo ahí en el cuarto round. Le conecté un
I was able to connect a good uppercut.
Sólido, lo seguí para no dejarlo vivir.
I didn't want to let him go. This is round 5 now, quinto round.
En el quinto round lo seguí, yo sé que estaba mal.
In the 5th round, I knew that he wasn't well.
Lo seguí conectando.
I kept on hitting him.
Pero es un peleador bastante fuerte.
But he is a very, very strong fighter. Then at the end of the 8th round, you were able to finish the fight. Tell us what's going on. Final, ¿qué pasó?
Pues ahí lo seguí, yo sabía que ya era mío.
I knew that he was mine, I knew I could take him.
Lo conecté una combinación bastante sólida y el referee paró la pelea.
I was able to land a couple of good combination, or a couple of combinations, and the referee ended the fight. You seem to be having problems with your hand. ¿Tienes problemas con la mano?
No, gracias a Dios es la pelea que tuve con Vince Howard De allá para acá me lastimaba, pero hoy, gracias a Dios, el vendaje estuvo perfecto.
Ajá. Dinos, tell us who your company is. Aquí tienes toda la familia. ¿Quién es?
Bueno, ella es una prima.
That's a cousin?
Ella ya se lo conoce.
You know the father?
Es mi ayudante, bueno, el ayudante del equipo.
The team's part of the team?
Y es mi hermana.
And their sister. Okay, what would you tell Hamed right now? Who would you tell Luisito Espinosa? ¿Qué les dirías tú si los tuvieras enfrente? If you had them in front of you.
Pues yo ya me siento listo.
I feel ready.
Como ya les he dicho, hay que agarrar un poco de fuerza.
Like I have told you before, I want to be a little bit stronger.
Y un poco más de experiencia.
And a little bit more experience.
Listo para
but I feel ready for anybody. Okay, well, again, congratulations to the whole family, and good luck in the future.
Esta pelea se la dedico a mi hermana.
This fight is dedicated to my sister.
Que es su cumpleaños.
It's her birthday.
Un beso a toda la familia. Y pues un saludo a los Jiménez.
A kiss for the family and a hi to everybody that really supports me.
Y especialmente a mi mamá.
And to the mom. Back to you, Tom.
Well, he's a magnificent fighter. As you see again, as he knocks down Jupiter, that happened in round number 7. And then in round number 8, it was stopped at 1:09. And Juan Manuel Márquez wins his 26th in a row, his 20th knockout. Long live the champion. Congratulations, Juan.